Wouldn't it be funny if, I watched a movie, spent a lot of time on the review, and then the movie got delayed? Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. Anyways, though, A24, they're back at it. They do a lot of weird things. They specialize in horror, and that's exactly what we watched today. Saint Maud. Maud, a newly devout hospice nurse, becomes obsessed with saving her dying patient's soul, but sinister forces threaten her holy calling. So is this new kind of psychological thriller horror film from A24 a must-see? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Saint Maud. If you've seen this film or love A24, looking forward to it. Now let's get into some of the good. So right off the bat, I have to be clear, I'm not the biggest fan of horror films, but this movie, Saint Maud, steers a little bit more into a psychological thriller mixed with a couple other things, and that's what I liked about this movie. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Rose Glass, who directed the Saint Maud movie and also wrote this movie, does some fascinating work. I mean, obviously behind the camera, there's very stylized shots. There's almost this mixture of perspective dealing with that in this film, which ties into psychological thriller aspects, but also kind of the shots of the characters, this very much setting the tone, close-ups of characters, so you can't really feel what is around them. It is very much them and how they are feeling, or how their perspective is playing off on the film or the frame of that shot. So obviously the technical aspects she does a fantastic job with, but getting into the story, almost the genre of this movie, it is a mixture of horror, psychological thriller, of almost a redemption art, and it's almost diving into other things of a cloudy past, a character study, religious aspects. Is this a religious movie? I think that Saint Maud, again, credit where credit due, Rose Glass wrote this movie. It is a conflicting, almost wonderful mixture of all of these different genres, because they play so well into one another that this isn't your typical horror film. This is something different that steers into kind of, again, perspective of the film. And I loved kind of how they toyed with you in certain scenes and how things kind of pop up, and not exactly a jump scare, but it is a well-deserved scare that also is a quick piece of the story, almost a context clue into someone's past, into what they're feeling, how or what they're going to do in the next coming scenes. So I think that not only written, directed, but this was a well-crafted story. And it's a very kind of toned down story with not that much cast. I mean, the two main people, Jennifer Ehle, I believe, she's kind of like this ill, out of her prime dancer who has this at-home nurse, Saint Maud, who is played by Morfydd Clark, I believe. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'll put it right down here. But she is the standout as Saint Maud. Very much this like at-home hospice nurse. And it's her portrayal. She's very much kind of like this shy, almost mousy type character, but also has this ferocious side to her. And it's like the drop of a pin. You don't know how this character is going to really react. And the way that Clark was able to portray this character, she comes off as, again, like I said, very kind of tame, and she feels like she's friendly and approachable and has this great relationship with this essentially dying patient of hers. But she is able to use her skills as an actress to really flip the script and give you not the whole story, to give you something that seems very much out of character, but could be her character once more pieces of the movie fall into place. And again, I hate to be vague with this, but there's certain aspects of this movie that you do not want to know about until the very end. Again, everything that is done in this movie, technical aspects, the script, the performances, tie in with perspective, it's stylized, and there's a lot of symbolism here that again plays with bigger themes that are very much present in A24 films of, the past and whatnot. Now, this movie, Saint Maud, I thoroughly enjoyed this, but coming from A24, if you're not familiar with A24, maybe a casual fan out there is a bit of ambiguity, I can't pronounce it that well, in Saint Maud. So if you're looking for some kind of concrete answers, not really willing to jump into the details, kind of figure things out for yourself, this might not be the movie for you. Again, it's not a big negative. I'm just almost going to throw this out there as a disclaimer. There is some elements of this film that very much kind of take almost a little bit more deep dive on religion, on perspective, on almost character study of who Saint Maud is, who this Maud character is throughout this movie. Overall, Saint Maud is a fantastical, almost new structure of horror psychological thriller from A24, with Rose Glass absolutely knocking this one out of the park with stylized flavor, a unique story, performances that are top-notch, and again almost being this mixture of a bunch of different genres, but with a bit of ambiguity that's not going to land with everyone. I would highly recommend checking out Saint Maud. Again, I'm not a big fan of horror films. This was much different than your typical horror film and had a lot of unique, almost hard-hitting, deeper dive material that I was interested in. In closing, I'm going to give Saint Maud 4.2 out of 5 what the f***s. So what did you guys think of Saint Maud? If you've already seen this one or now, very much looking forward to it. I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there, you know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. There will be hopefully an ending explained poorly for the Saint Maud movie because there's a lot to dive in for. Check that out on my channel. Follow all of my social media, like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.